Hi, I'm Kristina Kelly. I'm the Public Relations Coordinator here at the Mississippi Library Commission, and today we're going to talk about Canva. Now, if you already use Canva, you know that there is a new interface that just updated. So we're going to be going through that and going through some basics for creating a flyer or signage for your public library. Now, before we get started, I highly suggest that you look at library consultant Shelley Ziegler's webinar here on this YouTube channel for her webinar on signage, library signage. Wonderful little overview to get you ready for this and some tips and tricks to make your signage better. So with that said, let's get started and start learning about Canva.
So here we are in the new Canva interface. You can see the updates. I don't know about you, but I'm getting used to it. It's a little bit of a struggle, but that's okay. We will learn it together. What I want to start with today, since today is about signage and flyers, is the absolute best place for you to start is with the Canva templates. We all struggle for time and what we can get done. And so it's best if we just go ahead and use some of these wonderful designs that are available to Canva. It is totally okay. And I will show you how to customize that to make it a little more relate to your library. So to get started, we want to go to the far left. We want to go to templates. Clicking that, it brings us to the entire template things they have on file. But what we want to do is we want to make a flyer. So we can see the flyer here. We're going to click on it. From here, we can create a blank flyer, or we can look at all the different flyers that they have in their repository. And there is a lot. So don't panic. We're just going to pick what we like and go from there. And it really doesn't matter. You need to figure out what's best for your library, and then we will customize it. So you have filters you can apply. So if you have a style that you like, you want it colorful, you want it minimalistic, if there's a theme that you know, and if you have a color that you like, it will show you that. But what I want to do is use the Canva AI up here at the top, and we're going to search for keywords: public library, seniors book club, which it could be a children's story time. So see what it comes up with. This, for me, for the purposes of this, I'm going to type in a senior book club, but your flyer could be anything else. And they already have so many things like, quiet please, sorry we're closed. If you just need simple things like that, there are so many templates already available to you in Canva. You just have to search for them. But for today, we're going to do the senior book club flyer. So what we see next is this is what popped up. Now, the reason for these crazy colors, and that red, I'm not too sure about that red. However, red is part of the MLC brand kit. As you can see, I've entered it here, and that's why it's popping up. And what we learned from Shelley's webinar on signage is that looking at this is that this is not a good contrast in these colors. We can change all that, but just to reiterate a point that Shelley made, for signage in your library, you want to make sure there's a good contrast in color so that it is accessible to everyone and easy to read. Um, when looking at the flyers, we need to make sure the flyers are easy to read, which makes it easier for our patrons to quickly glance at them and decide if that is something um, they need to stop and read, if it's pertinent to them. So that's what we're looking at. So as you can see, there's multiple flyers to choose from. We can choose some of the magic design, which is the AI, Canva AI, or we can choose something that someone has already made. So let's choose one of these. I like this. Let's see. We're going to go with this one. So I'm going to customize the template. Now we discussed, I do not like this red. And I also want it easy to print. So I am going to click on the background and you can see the purple line is highlighting what I will be editing. I'm going to go up to the top where the color is, background color is red currently, but I want to change that to white. I think that will make it a lot easier to uh, print, as not have to worry about a big color in the background. And I like the white space, the literal white space it's giving me. Now to edit different pieces of this is you click on it. So we have text boxes, we have some other elements like these lines, and we have photos. And we'll be editing all of those to make it a little more specific to our library. Now up here, we would put possibly, I'm going to double click in it and highlight it. We would say the Mississippi Library Commission, but I'm not really feeling that. What I think it needs is our logo. So I'm going to insert our logo. Now I have a folder over here just for MLC logos, and I'm going to put that in. And all I did was click on the logo and boom, there it is. If I also have these in my upload folder. So if you have it saved on your computer somewhere and there's my uploads, I can, as you can see, I was doing some IMLS stuff earlier. It could also be there, but I made a folder just for logos. So I like that. It fits what I'm going for, and I'm going to click on, again, you see the purple highlight, shows that's the active piece that we're editing. I'm going to click on that, and I'm going to click delete. I'm going to bring that up, and you can see those lines popping up. Those are grid lines. Those are helping us making sure that our elements are balanced. Now, if I wanted to bring it to the dead center, that line you can see goes through the entire document. If I wanted to center it, but what I want is to center it over this text. So as you can see, this is like a column. That's where I want the logo. I line it up with the top. I like that. So I'm going to go to the next element, which is this large section here. Now it says ungroup. What it means is that it has two distinctive text boxes. You can see that I'm highlighting those, and they are grouped together. So they are connected, and that as I move it, they move together. So I'm going to move this up a little bit. There, I like that. Let's bring it over a little bit there. So you see I put it in line with my logo. I also noticed that green is not quite right for MLC and it's a little bit light, so it needs to be darker. So let me highlight it. So again, I'm working on this box. You see the purple box, that's what I'm editing. I can magic write, which is the AI will rewrite it for you. But what I want to do is change the color. So I need a slightly darker color. There's the MLC brand kit right here. I'm going to go for the darker green. I like that. And you can also see it gives me the hex code there. So if I need to enter in the code in a different place, I can look it up that way. So there we go. So I like that. Down here, I'm going to highlight the secondary text of this group. It's the lighter green. I need to change that. Let's make it a little bit darker. Like that. But what I don't like is that that's really tiny. So I'm going to go up to the top to my toolbar and I see this font size. So this one is 51. This one is 13.9. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it so it's easy to see in passing. Now, what I don't like is I don't like all those extra lines. So you saw it move as I changed the size. So what I need to do is ungroup. I'm going to ungroup. So you see two distinctive text boxes. I'm going to click this one and slide this bar over and make the text box wider. That's a little bit better. I like that. And you can see the lines snap into place where I'm lining up trying to get it on that one. And you see here where it shows you the spacing, so they're equal. I rather like that one. And then I'm going to regroup this back together. So to do that, I'm going to click this first box. I'm going to hold down the Shift key and click the second box, and then click Group. And now these are back together. Let's center it back up like that. Good to go. The next thing is these lines. These are not MLC colors. Oops, you see, like that. I'm going to make it a little bit bigger. I'm going to make this one a little bit bigger by sliding over like this. Oh, it's a wiggly line. See if I can make that straighten up. Boy, it does not want to go back. Well, let me move this out of the way like this and make it straight like that. I'm not going to fight you. We'll bring it back down like that. I dig that. I like that a lot. But it's not the MLC color. So I want to go back and change them, the colors. So by clicking on them, and you can see there's the little dots there are highlighted. I'm going to go up to line color. I'm going to do the MLC blue. I can change it to other colors in that section as well. But what I want is MLC blue. I can change the line style, line weight. I can make it dots and dashes. I can add starts and stops. Now, line start and stop is like if you have an arrow or a dot on the end. I can change the type. I can do transparency. And since this is a flyer, I don't really need to animate. And the only one I need to worry about position is this one here. And position tells me where it is. And this a position is if I want to bring it to the back, like if I want to put it behind my photo, I'd say to the back, and you can see it went behind the photo, or I can bring it to the front so it's in the front of everything. To click on layers, it shows me all the pieces that are in my flyer. If these were all stacked on top of each other, let's say text, so like this text box is underneath the line, but we could slide it over here and tell it in what position it should all be in. So it'd be like background, which is white, photo, text, and line. If I want to work on something that's stacked on top of it, I can go over here. I want to work on the photo, and it puts me into the photo where I can start working on it. So if it was all layered up on top of each other, oops, this is the one I want, then that's how I work on a specific layer in the design. So let me show you that real quick. So you have text, you have this. So so I want to work on something. I need to go to position. I need to work on the photo. Let's say if I couldn't get to it and click on the photo, and you can see the purple box, and that's how I would work on that layer. But with this simple design for a flyer, oops, see, I'm still on it. I'm going to click undo and put it right back in. Undo is your friend. Undo, redo, love it. I use them a lot. So we're going to go back into our group of text. I'm going to move it back in line. Find my little grid lines there. I'm going to go back over to my line and then put that in. Like it right there. Okay. So down here we would put information about how to attend. Again, that looks a little small to me. So let's make it where it's easy to read in passing. There. I'm going to move it a little bit further down. Is lined up. Still the wrong color. I'm going to go back up to my color and make it that darker green. Yep, like that. So what we need to do next to further customize the flyer is to add photos in. Now, if you have photos of this activity from the past, it is absolutely the best to use your own photos. Stock photos work in a pinch. Do I use them? Absolutely. If I can have actual photos from my library, do I use those? Yes. So it just depends on what's up, what you have. So let me show you this. So this is the photo. There's the crop lines. It's been cropped to this as opposed to using the whole photo and trying to making sizing it down. So this is what it's been cropped to. But we want to add our own photos into it. So let me go over to my uploads, which is over in the far left, uploads. And I'm going to search my photos for people. And it should show me the AI should pull out any photo that has people in it. So you see some of my favorite snapshot days. I love that. Oh, this is one of my favorite photos. And I'm going to drag and drop it over into that frame. And then I need one more. Let's see. I like this one. Let's try this. We're going to drag it over and drop it in. Don't have any photos of a book club. They're mostly children. Let's try this one. Drag it over, drop it in. Maybe come off a little to the side so you can see the library in the background. And there you go. There's two. Other things that I wouldn't want to do them to this flyer. I kind of like the clean look of it, but things that you can do is add a border. So up here I can edit the photo if I wanted to remove the background. There's different things you can do. We're going to do that in a whole nother webinar. So hang on for that one. But I can change the filter. So say I need to match a little bit better on that. Maybe I want to make it, let's see, what's one I like this warm one. So make it a little brighter, a little warmer, or maybe this natural light. Let's look at Luna. So that's a little too dark. I don't like that one. That one's pretty good, that fresco. And you can change the intensity of it to almost nothing to full on 100%. I can also go back and change none. I don't really like any of those. Oh, don't like that one. We'll go back to none. So those are your filters. You can do effects on it as well. You can add a shadow to it. Like if I wanted to do an outline to the photo, doesn't really work on the cropped because you can see it's not showing the edge. So it wants to do the full photo. So it wants to crop. You can see it all the way around. So that doesn't really work on that when you're using a frame, but something to do in the future. I'm going to do done. I'm going to go back. I'm going to click undo, undo, undo. There we go, back to the regular. Let's put a border on it. I'm going to do a border in black. I can make it a big thick border or just there's a 0 border. Let's do 2 there, like that. I can round the corners. Oh, that's cute. Oh, I like that. We're going to do that. Again, there's the crop. I don't think I need to do any of that. You can change it depending on what you want over here. If you know exactly what your size that you need, you can ask the AI to smart crop it for you. I kind of like playing with it. Not something I use often, but it is possible. Click cancel. I can fade. So let's say you have a picture of your bookshelves. I can fade the photo out and in. There's no reason for that. And again, we've already talked position. So let's match the bottom photo to that. We need to add a border. We need to drop it down to, we did a 2. Well, I can't slide, so I'm just going to do 2. Enter. And then I'm going to round the corners so it matches just like that. Now this is how you make sure it matches. So I'm going to click on this one. I'm going to look at the rounded corners. The corner says 36. So I'm going to click on this one, go back to the rounded corners. I was almost there. I'm going to go up to 1, 2, oops, 37. There it is, 36. So now they're exactly the same rounded corner. Click off. Oh, that's not bad. I kind of like that. So something I might try, let's go back to our line border color. What if we did the MLC color? So that way there's a little more continuity in the colors. It's subtle, but then I know that there's, it matches these lines here. I think I like that. And that was customizing a Canva template on Canva just for your library. It's Canva, Canva, Canva. It's wonderful. So very simple. Let's try it one more time real quick. So let me go back to, you can see I've been playing, I've been practicing for this. I'm going to go back to my home page, Canva. Here we go. We're going to quickly go through this just real quick. One more time. Template. We're going to do a flyer. Let's find a print ready. Let's do a minimalistic. Okay. And let's search for library and just see what we get. There we go. What can we do? Let's try, let's just pick one. Let's do this one. Yes, I very much would like to customize this template. The library is closed. Cute. So in the background, what have we got here? Look at the transparency. Here's where we're talking about the transparency. This is 100%, and it was down here at 60. I like it. So I'm not crazy about the colors. Let's try something else. Let's change this. So this graphic is yellow and white. Let's change it to different colors there. So it's the same color. I kind of like that. I don't know what this is. That must be their logo. I'm going to delete that. I'm going to bring this over here. Make this a little bit bigger. You know what? I feel like those are distracting. I'm going to delete. Library is closed. Why is it open 8 to a.m.? So we'll say library will reopen on Tuesday, July the 7th, 2024. There we go. I hit enter. You can see the purple box for each of the items in here. And then I might go www.mlc.lib.ms.us. This would be yours. All right, so that feels very, very low to me, like it's not centered. So what I would probably, there's a couple of things that you can do with it. You can hold down your shift key and do click, 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 and that groups everything together. I'm going to try to center this in here. So there's still no line. I like it about like that. That looks better. Okay. The other way to do this is you drag, oops, not like that. Whoopsie. And go back. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on this background and I am going to lock it in place. Where's my lock? Lock. Okay, it's locked. And then I'm going to highlight and move those items. So I can move it back down and stuff like that. So what the lock did is that I was very happy with this background piece. I like where it is. I'm going to leave it alone. I don't want to have to worry about it again. So I locked it so I can unlock it. I'm going to lock it back. But I still needed to move everything again. So because I didn't like the position. So now what I can do is I can highlight that this back piece, you see the big purple box, is locked. It's not going anywhere until I unlock it. And now I can move this wherever I want to. Get it back on center. And then I'm going to unlock that piece just in case. And so now that it's unlocked, I can move this around if I want to. So very simple, very quick design little play how to use a Canva template. That was the very quick version, but as you can see, there was like, your library is going to close. It happens, and you can very quickly make a very cute template for that. So wrapping up for this, just know that templates are your friend. Don't be afraid to use them because that's what they're meant for. Just make sure you take a few minutes, as you can see, and customize to your library colors, or adding in, as well as adding in your logo. And as always, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out.
So that's the basics of creating flyers and signage in Canva. If you take anything away from this, just remember that templates are your friend, especially when you're short on time and you need to create something quick. However, if you do have a few minutes, make sure that you make the changes of adding your logo, your library brand colors, and any personal images directly from your library. It makes the connection a little bit better for the members of your community. I promise, the more that you do these things in the templates, those little changes, the more comfortable you will become using Canva, and that perhaps eventually you'll be able to create a flyer or signage from scratch. That's how I did it, and I believe that's how you can do it too. And always, if you have any needs, you need help with something, there's my contact information. It's also in the description. Please let me know. I'll be glad to help. See you next time.